For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Homeland Daily Show each and every single day from 7:30 p.m. or 7:25 all the way until 8:30 p.m. I'm your host Rico Rolando, and unfortunately Dane Ramon could not be here with us tonight, but I have the beautiful, the talented, before we wrap, the benediction, Liz Charles. How are you doing, Liz?
Hey, Rico. I'm so glad to be on the Homeland Daily with the talented musician, entrepreneur, Rico Orlando.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm super glad to be here tonight. Unfortunately, Dane could not be here with us, but we're definitely going to send him his prayers and his blessings all over his way. But we have so much to talk about on the Homeland Daily Show. Lots of entertainment report, but also a little bit of what's going on in the Cayman Islands. But how are you doing today?
Well, as you can see, I'm still at work. This is becoming a Monday routine, I feel like.
Tuesday.
I just, my weeks start off heavy. It is what it is.
Sure.
What about you? Have you planted anything new? Have you bought any animals? I'm thinking of an animal. I don't know.
A lot of my tomato trees died, but shout out to Chantel Danielle. She's the one that's taking care of me with all the plants. She got that covered.
Yeah, her family been like her dad is so good with that kind of thing.
He has like 1,000,000,001 plants. Like I'm pretty sure he could supply the Cayman Islands if he really needed to. But shout out to Chantel Danielle for that. We're gonna go right into it. We're gonna start with entertainment report tonight. And we're actually going to start with Pop Smoke. So I don't know if you heard the news, but his alleged murderers were actually convicted today, or not convicted, but they were charged today. A 15-year-old and a 17-year-old from Los Angeles. They were actually charged with the murder of Pop Smoke. So we're going to be seeing a lot more details going out with that story. This is actually the scene of where Pop Smoke was murdered in LA. A lot of things are actually going on in that region, but what are your thoughts being 15 and 17 years old? That's crazy.
That is so sad to think that a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old are being charged with murder. One, they have their whole life ahead of them. They can't their brains aren't even fully developed to the point where they can understand what a lifetime is, because I think that doesn't happen until you're around in your 20s before your brain is that developed. And so that's just so sad and so unfortunate, and whatever circumstances may have led to that situation, it breaks my heart.
Yeah, for sure. Me as well. I mean, to be 15 and 17 years old and already going through that type of, I guess, murdering someone at that young age, you must have been going through a lot way before that to just upright and murder someone, especially on the come up like Pop Smoke. I know he recently released his album, and actually all of his songs are on Hot 100 Billboard charts right now. So he's doing amazing things, up in the sky. But I would like to actually see what's gonna happen next. What were their thoughts going through this whole process? But speaking of artists, Drake and DJ Khaled are actually going to be releasing some new music this Friday. It's going to be super dope. Apparently, DJ Khaled is always hyping up anything that he's always doing. But actually, we got some more footage with Drake as well. He's in Barbados right now. So here's Drake. He went there on his, OVO plane. He's there spotted, playing basketball, also taking pictures with locals. But to me, I didn't know Drake was this short. Drake looks kind of short in this picture.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I'm not gonna lie, but
not that I discriminate, for the record.
Yes.
But yeah, you know what? That's the thing about celebrities. So often they're so much shorter than you may think that they are in person. Also, what's he doing in Barbados? Because is Brianna in Barbados?
That's what I'm trying to figure out too. It's like, why you in Robin's place, bro? Like,
Also, are y'all still looking out for Drake albums after that last one? Because there was so much smack talk after that.
oh no, that album was fire. That was all Dame. That was all Dame. So he's probably listening to it right now on his way to East End.
Okay, all right.
Quiet that he likes it. But speaking of short, actually, over the weekend it was Kylie Jenner, it was Megan the Stallion, and it was Tory Lanez that were all hanging out. And actually in a house that Kylie rented over in Los Angeles, a little bit closer to Vegas as well. But the three were actually spotted over on Instagram Live, where Megan the Stallion decided that she wanted to go live with Kylie. And in the background, you can actually hear one of the guys saying, well, the PD's on their way. You need to turn down the music. The PD's outside. And then all of a sudden, we're hearing after that, Tory was actually charged with possession of a gun. And he was actually shooting it off in the vicinity on where they all three of them were. So, and actually Megan the Stallion was in the car with Tory. So apparently something went off where Tory decided that he needed to have his gun out, and all of a sudden things just kind of went left. And that's when Megan the Stallion decided that she's going to take off in his car. The police actually arrested Tory. But the big thing is that they said that Tory Lanez is 120 pounds and he's 5'2". So Tory, got a lot of explaining to do, bro.
You really got it out for tiny men right now. You really do.
It's not me. It's the news. Like they have it out for you guys right now.
Okay. First of all, I don't understand why Black celebrities are still hanging out with the Jenner Kardashian family.
And I mean,
it never leads to anything good.
But Megan the Stallion was just hanging out with Jordan Woods a few weeks back, and I guess she's saying, well, Jordan, unfortunately, you don't have as many followers or something. I don't know what Megan the Stallion's about, but to me, it's looking kind of shady. I don't know.
I don't know when they will learn their lesson, but like, if you a Black celebrity, you should know better by this point. Isn't Kanye enough? Haven't we seen enough of Kanye, Lamar Odom, just to know Jordan Woods? Just stay away. Just stay all the way away.
My thing was Tory Lanez is 5'2" and 100.
Oh my gosh! Why you
120
the little man?
That is less than half of me, bro. Like, I don't know. All these celebrities like Drake, I didn't know he was that short. Tory, I didn't know he was that short. I mean, damn. Do I have?
How tall are you, Rico? What's your height? Since you out here,
I'm actually 6 foot. I'm
okay.
6 foot. So I got a little bit of height. I'm not there. I'm not basketball, but I'm there. I'm there. But we're going to switch it completely, and we have some tragic news. So the body of Naya Rivera was found earlier. I think it was 2 days ago over in Los Angeles, in a lake. So basically, what they're saying is that there was a huge current inside the ocean. Her and her son decided that they were going to jump in. Didn't obviously know that there was a current in the ocean, and now they're saying that his mom actually helped him onto the boat. And then that is when she was dragged under by the current. So, there's a lot of emotion right now. Actually, all of her co-stars were on the scene. They were all, holding hands. As you can see in this picture in the background, they were all holding hands, and they were just super emotional about the loss of Naya Rivera. What are your thoughts on this story, Liz?
It's so sad. It is.
Yeah.
It's truly heartbreaking. And, we saw so many celebrities, from Viola Davis to the Maoris, like so many celebrities were posting messages of love to her. Like, I didn't know Naya rolled that deep in Hollywood. And And I also didn't know how long that she'd been, a child actress
Yeah,
and had really,
I
had this
know.
lengthy career that prior to Glee. And so it's truly unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. And our prayers definitely go to the family of Naya Rivera and also her son. Must be a huge obviously loss in the family and just a loss in the Glee family as well. But prayers definitely will go out to all of them. And our last story for entertainment report. Now I love my conspiracies.
I've been waiting for this one. I've been
And
waiting for it.
this is something that was seen all over Twitter this weekend. So Wayfair. I don't know if you've actually purchased anything from Wayfair before.
I got a beautiful rug.
Oh, what came
Got it
with
for
that
so
rug?
cheap.
What came with that
It
rug?
was very cheap. It was not like
Okay.
these closets.
It wasn't the
It was
$10,000 ones,
no,
right?
it was 70% off.
Okay, that's what we're wanting to hear. So apparently this is a whole conspiracy theory that's going around right now, but the dots are kind of connecting. It's like how are you able to have these furnitures by the name of missing people, and then all of a sudden some of the other stuff also match up, like the coordinates and stuff like that, and then it's like pillows for $10,000 named Eurytzia C, and then Eurytzia Cruz is missing. I don't know. But they're saying this is a whole conspiracy and this is actually absolutely not true. But why is the CEO planning on stepping down? I mean, if nothing's going on shady in the Wayfair business, I mean, why are you planning on stepping down? What do you think, Liz? Is this something that I'm just making up in my head, or is this something that could possibly be true?
It could possibly be true, right? Like, I don't know. This is
Yeah.
kind of a tough one. Like, I'm quick to be like, please
Yeah.
stop with your conspiracy.
Yeah.
But this one it's a little bit, it's a tough one. Also, just because the market for human trafficking is like, it's horrible, but it is lucrative, right? Like, it is something that we know exists. It is
Yeah.
something that we know, like, a lot of people are involved in. Like, it's a whole black market system. And so I don't know that him stepping down is necessarily a sign, because like it could also be that he handled it so poorly. And if you have a board who already kind of wants him out anyway, they're going to look for any reason, any excuse to push someone out. But it's a tough one.
Yeah, for sure. But
I'm surprised you didn't bring up your next conspiracy.
oh,
story.
baby, that's right there. Okay, Elaine Maxwell. All right.
There
And
it is.
players of accused sex offender Jeffrey Epstein pleads not guilty, but a judge actually orders for her to remain in jail until the case in July 2021. Now, okay, Jeff only made it a month before he was exiled. How are we gonna wait until July 2021? There's
You
gonna
had
be
made it
president,
before he was
probably be
axed.
a new president by then. I mean, I don't really know. And especially now that she's saying that she has videos of 2 US politicians with minors and it's on video. So we all knew that Jeff Epstein was recording every single thing inside of his house just to get that blackmail on you, whoever you are, if you're Oprah, if you're Ellen, if you're anyone that entered that house, entered that island, you were recorded. So a lot
Well,
of
you gotta bring up Oprah and Ellen though.
Oprah and Ellen, because there's a lot of stuff going on with Oprah and Ellen in the conspiracy world that I'm not ready to share.
Okay.
What's going on?
So I think it's interesting because they were aiming for her to do $5 million in bail. That's what her lawyers were aiming for. And the judge rejected it. And
Right.
$5 million is not cheap.
That is pennies. That is pennies for the people who are with Jeffrey Epstein.
I suppose the judge thought so, and
Yeah.
hence was like, there is no amount of money that you can pay me to
Mhm.
go out on bail. I don't trust you. You stay in.
And I'm so glad that they're sticking to their guns on this one. Elaine Maxwell, she deserves to be in jail until 3021 to me. Obviously she's not gonna last that, but at the same time, it's just like
I agree with you.
for what she's
I
done, for what if you actually watch the Jeffrey Epstein
oh,
Netflix
it's
documentary,
awful.
awful, horrible, and just for her to be, looking for little girls after school and all that.
Preying on the most vulnerable in society. I feel like that's a certain kind of evil that causes you to prey. I mean, it also makes me wonder, like, what happened to you? Like, what happened
Mm,
to make you that person? To look for the most vulnerable person to put into harm's way.
yep. I mean, look at her dad. I mean, he was known for being evil inside the media world, and everything sort of flipped on him. So it's only right, and karma only comes around for the worst people. So Elaine Maxwell, have a good time in prison and enjoy your stay with the rest of the people that are there. And that's all that we have for entertainment report tonight. But we do actually have a little bit of a story that we're going to be talking about tonight, and that is to do with Cayman Collective. So if you guys are on the Twitterverse and the Twitter universe, or if you're on Instagram, you'll know about this page called Cayman Collective.
K-Man went crazy. K-Man was not having it.
Cayman was not having it with Cayman Collective, unfortunately. I mean, this all started with someone on Twitter, and big shout out to Azuka. He's always the one to sort of start things up on the Twitterverse. He's like the Sandra of Twitter, right? So big shout out to him. But at the same time, too, it's like, first of all, I want to get your thoughts on this. It's like we all seen the video that's out there right now. We've all looked at on their Instagram. What's your thoughts on this, Liz?
First of all, I don't understand how people started getting so angry at the video when you had seen the Instagram page. I saw the Instagram page months ago. We've all seen the Instagram page, right?
Yep.
So I didn't really understand like how the video is so in line with the brand from the Instagram page.
Exactly.
The fact that the video had a couple Black people in it, I was like, oh, okay, we got like 3 Black people. We got a Black girl. We got a Black DJ. We got one other It's a brand. Like you could tell. Like it's
I mean, Cayman Collective. You're saying Cayman Collective, and then you're saying, how wonderful it is to live in the Cayman Islands, and they have all these different people inside the video.
The way they were saying Cayman was hilarious. I was dead. I was, oh my gosh.
And Twitter was not happy about that. And I was actually one of the first people to reach out to this page, right? And this was months ago. So I sent them a message, and it was actually deleted. They unfollowed me. I don't know why. But they were I basically sent them a message, and I was like, hey, I know that you guys are just starting out this page. I really like what you're doing. However, I feel with a name as Cayman Collective, you guys should be more inclusive with what your brand is. And I was looking through your page. Out of 256 posts, there were only 3 colored people inside of the post. And then they actually messaged me back, and they said, no offense taken, but your statement of 3 of 256 is entirely untrue. We take pride in showcasing every color. So actually, you know what? I was like, Rico, you might be wrong. Go back and check. Go back and do your cross. I went back, and it was actually 11 out of 256.
Well, Rico, you went and you robbed them of like 8. Okay, so that's just, how dare you?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's their bad as well, because I posted this on Twitter, and then all of a sudden everyone was getting the same exact message from Cayman Collective, and they were basically saying, our page isn't about Caymanians, it's about the island and the people that live here. Okay, pause.
I know that's a problematic sentence. It's such a problematic sentence anyway.
It isn't about Caymanians, it's about the island and the people that live here. So what are you saying, that there's no Caymanians that live in the Cayman Islands? Unfortunately, whoever that was running the page, you guys kind of messed up on that part. This is why we wanted to include both Caymanians and expats in our video, I think there's some confusion though. The video was made because everyone wanted to know who was behind Cayman Collective, and it happens to be two expats behind this page, which is why the video shows us speaking and describing what Cayman means to us.
Listen, everybody's out here being all irritated and whatever at the video the whole time. My filmmaker self was just like, who directed it though?
Yeah.
Like, who did they hire to shoot it though? That's what I want to know. Because that person likely either Caymanian or Cayman adjacent in some kind of way, someone in the community. And I really want to know who shot it.
Yeah. Same here, to be honest, because it's like I get where they're all going with the branding and stuff like that, you know, the luxurious life and all that, but at the same time it's like you're not really being inclusive, especially in this time and this age that we live in, 2020,
but they don't have to be inclusive.
My thing is though, why not call it something else? Collective?
Because they got the name first.
Why not call it Island Collective?
They felt like Cayman Collective. They live in Cayman. They're expats in Cayman. They decided it was a collective of them expats. That's, you know.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time too, their message and their branding is confusing as hell. Our page is about Cayman. It's about the island.
Why are you mad at them, Rico? They decided they wanted a page focused on their aesthetic. They are creative and are able to express themselves. If you don't like it, support the people who you do.
True, and you know, a lot of people were saying that on Twitter. Thank you, Liz, because I always need your calm advice. But sometimes I can get riled up way too quickly. But you know, people on Twitter, they were saying this sort of the same thing. Just move on past it. But a lot of people were upset about this video, and I don't want it to be where it starts a segregation again between expats and Caymanians, because we've been there, we've done that, and I think we should be going in the place of being inclusive with everyone. I get what the brand is. Do you think a lot of people are just hating because they're not on the train? Or
listen, here's what I do know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they paid for followers, but let's assume that it's all organic, right? That it's all real. Okay. So they have an Instagram page that managed to get a ton of followers in a little bit of time. And I'm sure many of those followers are Caymanians, right? And so when they come out with that video and you feel like there's no representation, if you were the same one who liked the Instagram page, which had no representation on it, that doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. I saw the Instagram page, right? I recognized it for what it was. And I was like, okay, cool. I see the video.
What is it? What is it? What is it? That's what I was going to ask.
Accent. It just every time I think about the video, it just throws it off. So because you know what's the problem with the video is because the first thing that happens whenever we go away is that we have to correct the way that people say Cayman.
Yep.
It's literally like it's the first thing that happens. Is every time you're telling someone where you're from, blah blah blah, they'll always be like, "Oh, the Caymans," and you'll be like, "No," and you gotta convince them how to pronounce, you know, the country's name properly. You got to convince someone who doesn't live here how to say the name of the country properly. So to then have something made that's supposed to be representative of the island, you know, say the name incorrectly, I think that felt egregious because it felt like someone had come into our territory maybe and was correcting us. Mm-hmm. And that felt maybe a little bit problematic, but when I say it was what it was, it was it felt very, very
speak it.
Like, you know, sometimes you go to a French restaurant, right? And the French restaurant has very, very good cuisine in that it's recognized around the world for how the cuisine, but I personally am not a fan of French cuisine because I like Caribbean seasonings. And so this is like, is pretty.
Liz, I don't know where you're going with that. But what I would say is
What I'm saying is that it was lacking in melanin.
Amen.
And it had a specific aesthetic. But they liked some of my photos, so I was like, I'm cool.
No, that's not what we're going to do. We are going to speak the truth, whether you like it or not. I'm not going to go to Canada and say Canada. And I'm going to have all of my Caribbean friends, and I'm going to be like, this is Canada.
Right. Yeah. It's exactly, oh, God. It's
Canada.
Hilarious.
I'm not going to do that and call it Canada Collective.
It's so funny. It's funny. Tell me it's hilarious. And I'm reading people's comments on Twitter. See, this is why I'm not even on Twitter. But I'm dying because I'm like, yo, seriously though, like, how is this affecting your life? What you need to do is create your own thing. And I saw some people talking about this, right? And like, put in the same kind of work. If they manage to put in work to get themselves how many thousands of followers, like why do you need to sit there and beg them to change themselves for you?
For sure.
Nah.
For sure. And I get that completely. But at the same time too, I would also have respect for where I'm living. I would also want to make sure that I was inclusive with everyone, especially if I was living in Canada.
But that's you. That's
you. That's what the whole world should be. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But you know what? We are actually going to have Cayman Collective on next week. And they're going to say their part on what they think it is and what Cayman Collective means to them. So if you guys want to check out that show, it's going to be next week, Tuesday. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. It's going to be a super, super epic show. And Liz.
I'm going to ask them why they blocked you.
They didn't block me. No, they didn't block me. They unfollowed me.
Oh, they unfollowed you. Okay,
yeah. That's probably a good question to ask. You make sure you write that down. But you know what? Anyone who's a part of Cayman Collective, I honestly, again, I'll say it. I loved what you guys were doing, but I just wanted you guys to be more inclusive. Now that I see that your page is at 500 and something posts, I am seeing a lot more melanin. I am seeing a lot more Caymanians on the page. But at the same time, it's still lacking that Caymanian feel to me inside the video. What it's portraying, I don't know who's in charge of the marketing or what's going on with that part. But
I want to call out the person who filmed it, the filmmaker to filmmaker. You know who you are.
You know what? Hopefully they're on the show next week as well. Liz, but what are your final thoughts? We're gonna wrap this up super, super early tonight. Make sure you guys stay tuned for tomorrow's show. And I know we have Badir coming in tomorrow with Caitlin Tyson, one of the actresses for the new film that they produced along with Wendy Miller and a few other actors and actresses. But big shout out to everyone who's watching us right now over on Facebook Live. And Liz, what are your final thoughts for today, for this epic show, for what Cayman Collective means? I don't know. What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, one, make your own way. Like, you don't need to wait on someone else to make something for you. We talked about this on Entrepreneur Thursday with Leanna. No excuses. If they can do it, you don't need to sit around waiting for someone else to do it. You can do your own thing. And don't hate on them. Like, let them do them, and then you do you. And my second last thought is, Rico, stop hating on tiny men.
I'm not hating on tiny men, man.
Just because you got a 6 in front of your height number.
You know what? Big shout out to everybody who's 6 foot and over. We running this. We got this. But major shout out to everyone over on Twitter. I think this was kind of like a unified sort of Cayman
collectively came against Cayman Collective.
Yeah, and big shout out to everyone. And something that I retweeted earlier today was that from Vasco over on Twitter is that he hopes, he said, hope this shows that we got to work together more because they're all working together. And that's something that really stood out to me as well, along with what Virgil said. And he said, this starts with local community, actually believing and supporting their own. It's one thing to always say we should, but when the time comes, I rarely see the effort being made to do so. It's always some sort of backlash mixed with, if it ain't foreign, it ain't good enough. So definitely big shout out to everyone there. And yeah, I'm just kind of wanting to know. I'm kind of eager for Cayman Collective to come on, see the faces behind Cayman Collective. Who are the faces behind Cayman Collective? We really would love to know who handles the page and what kind of ideas do you guys have coming next? Are you guys willing to be more inclusive? Are we gonna see a lot more Caymanian faces, which they said that they were going to do? And Caymanians were actually supposed to be taking over their page this weekend. So I don't know if it had something to do with the backlash or if this was already planned. I don't know, but we look forward to it. Everyone who's wanting to know what we're talking about, all you guys got to do is go on Instagram and just type in Cayman Collective and you will see the video there. Or you probably seen the sponsored ad as well.
If you want just 20 minutes of bear laughs, please go on Twitter and just read everything.
Go on Twitter, search Cayman Collective, and then you'll see everything that was said today. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Is there any final words, Liz?
I said what I said.
You said what you said, and I said what I said. All right, so this is the Homeland Daily Show. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow where we'll have our host Dane back with us, along with some amazing guests, actors and actresses, and filmmakers, to join Liz over here with us. So major shout out to everyone who's watching. Thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for tomorrow's show.
Trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record.